Hi everyone. I hope you're doing well. Happy New Year. Just getting the iPad set up so I can see the chat. All right. So I have a kit from Mormino. Oh, I definitely didn't turn the volume down. Sorry about that. So I have had this kit from Mormino for the Love a Change pouch literally for like 2 years now. So tonight I was looking for something that I think will be kind of quick and just something fun to start the new year off. Those of you who celebrate, I hope you guys had a great holiday and a very happy new year. I took the last Tuesdays off because they fell on Christmas Eve and then New Year's Eve, so I'm really excited to be back sewing with everyone. Hi Liz, how you doing? Hi Annetta. Oh, Washington, D.C., 5 inches. Okay, I thought it was even more. Yeah, we just got like a dusting here in New York City. It was like enough to kind of make it a messy commute, but not anything crazy. Hi, Rosa. Hi, Krista. Thank you so much, everyone, joining in. I'm so excited. I um, I really miss chatting with everybody. Hey, Madeline. So, yeah, let me know. Did you guys have a good holiday if you celebrate? Hi, Dan. So, yeah, so what I was saying, if you're just hopping on, I've had this for the Love of Change pouch by Mormino. It was a kit from one of the expos, and I've had it forever. So I was like, all right, I think this will be a good first project to start off the year. And it included piping, and I've never ever did piping, so um, you'll see me get to experience that for the first time too. Oh my gosh, Liz, you got some flurries all the way down in Alabama? Yeah, today has been super windy in New York, like to the point like the door was rattling, and I was like, oh my gosh, if that wasn't locked, it would be like blowing open. I think we're supposed to get snow on Saturday, but I can't complain too much because we really haven't got that much snow, even in the past couple winters here in New York City. So, hi, Crystal. Hi, Nicole. All right. Thank you so much for joining. Oh my God. 5 to 10 inches on Friday? Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Good luck with that. I know Alabama barely gets hit, so do you guys are you guys like some of the other southern states where it's like you get an inch and there's like no plows and everything shuts down for days? All right. So since this came as a kit from Mormino, it's all materials from her shop. I believe this is the waterproof canvas because it has the white backing, and it already has the heart applique stuck on for me. And then it's her water resistant canvas, which I absolutely love for lining. So, and it came with her zipper tape, and I believe this is the one that she calls her pop tabs zippers. So matches super cute. I'm really excited to use it. Oh, Southern Arizona, no snow. Well, you can send the heat this way. We really miss it right now. Oh, Liz, make sure you go get all your groceries and everything you need. You're gonna be stuck in you and the cats and the kids. You're making your fourth hoodie. I know. I saw the picture you posted earlier with you and your daughter. So cute. I know. When I was debating tonight on what to sew, I have like 3 shirts cut out for my nieces, and I was like, oh, I don't really want to do the serger. It's just so much harder with the camera. um this was easier, so I was like, all right, we'll start with this. Maybe I'll do the shirts another day. So I'm gonna applique this on. I'm gonna hand crank it to start, and we'll see as we go around. I'm using a Teflon foot, and I'm kind of just like lining up the right hand side, like the edge of the heart with the middle of it, because it's not like a super skinny foot. So we'll see how it goes. Hi, Brittany. How are you? Yeah. Burning up your serger. Yeah, mine, I took it home and then I didn't end up using it. So with my nieces, we picked out, like, I brought all my not all, a lot of my fabrics home. And so they showed me which ones they liked. And I'm going to cut out some patterns so when I go back to Connecticut in a couple weeks, we can sew them up together. Because I have all this knit fabric, but I didn't. I'd like to ask them, and I was surprised. Like the twins had picked out some fabric with characters, and then my older niece, she picked out a whole bunch of prints from Rocker by D-Stash, and she has they're like black with different like rainbow prints. Some are actual rainbows, some are just like splatters and stuff. And it's some of my favorite fabrics, so I was like really surprised that my niece liked that, but also really excited because it's one of my favorites too. Oh, I'll stand by the fire doing computer work. That sounds really nice. Oh, yeah, I need to do computer work. I need to do the final inventory counts and get everything like turned over for taxes. But I'm totally putting that off. I think that's the worst. One of the worst parts of being a small business is having to do that. Yeah, Liz. Yeah, we're all procrastinating. Brittany, maybe you'll wear off on us and motivate us. Yeah, today was definitely one of those days for me here where I was just so tired. It was like, oh, I'm not motivated to do anything. And then 5 o'clock came and I was like, oh, I'm getting like a burst of energy. But I'm totally a night person. I've always been a night person, so no surprise there. It's one of the reasons that I start my lives at 8. All right, and I'm just hand cranking around the curve of this heart. I don't trust myself going around the curve using the foot pedal. Yeah, I think Brittany has a class. Yeah, if you are on, let us know if you are either going to attend the So Whatever Summit or you're teaching there. The tickets, it's for a sewing weekend at Lauren Mormino's studio out in Illinois. And I'm going to be teaching the willow wristlet there. I know Liz has a couple classes. Brittany had a class. So I'm really excited. Tickets are going on sale in 3 days on the 10th. Actually, later, I put a link to Lauren's website for this pattern, but I'll actually attach the link later for the summit as well. Yes, Liz, I'm so excited to meet you in person. I know some people I've already met from some other expos, but there's just so many that I haven't, and I wasn't able to make it out last year for it, so I'm so excited about this year and being able to make it work. I am so excited about your rhinestone demo. I'm hoping that my class is not till Sunday morning, so I'm hoping that I can sign up for a class or two. I really want to try to sign up for an industrial class because I've never actually sewed on an industrial. So I did not backstitch. I left my tails long. So I am going to pull this to the back. Hi, Mary Lou. How are you doing? Oh, I'm so excited. There's so many of you on tonight. So thank you so much for joining me. I've been looking forward to it all day. It was so funny because I got so used to like spending Tuesday nights and then not doing 2 weeks in a row. It was a little bit funny. Alright. I'm gonna grab a hand needle real quick because this one I'm trying to pull up on the tail, and the way it went in, it's not popping up. So I'm gonna thread that one through. Oh great! Let me see if I can actually find one. I had to dig out this little sewing kit because I don't know where. Usually I keep a like a hand sewing needle. I have like a little magnetic tray, but I don't know where it went, which that isn't good either. So hopefully it didn't fall somewhere where I'm gonna step on it. I'm not sure about Vegas. It kind of depends just how like sales and stuff go. Um, because right now I don't know. Like I really, really want to go, but if I go, it's either gonna be um, as like just to attend for fun, or possibly teach. I know I wouldn't be vending in Vegas at Socation just because it's so expensive to um, get our stuff across the country. Like when the stuff's in Florida, that's not so bad because we can just drive straight down. Hi Beth. I'm so glad that you were able to get on. How's your filming coming? Oh wow, Crystal, your dad had 5 industrials? That's so cool. So did you start like actually learning to sew from him? Yeah, you would think like being here in New York City, and I've been to some of the other expos, I just never was able to take an industrial class. Like I said, I'm really hoping that at Lauren's studio I can sign up for either an open sew or one of the industrial classes. But I know they're all going to be so popular. Oh, Shanova's class. Which one is she teaching? That would be really fun. Shanova's a great teacher. She's so nice. Alright, so I just finished the top stitch around the heart. It actually came out pretty decent. I'm glad I hand cranked it. And also I'm using a variegated thread from Wizardry Stitchery. I believe it's Under the Sea. It's their one that's teal, and it really matches the fabric so perfect. I know there's so many retreats. I saw like Wizardry is doing their 5th one. I know tickets are opening up for Lynn's Handmade. There's so many different ones. It's so exciting. All right, so this has double-sided tape on it. So I'm just peeling it, and I'm gonna do both my zipper tabs at once. So I'm just kind of like eyeballing the center since I can't push it together right now because it has the tape. There we go. Actually, let me clip it. Yeah, my dad has said that if I go out to Vegas, that's what he's referring to, that if I go out to Vegas, he's gonna go so he can join in the fun. and my mom went to Tennessee with us for one of the expos, and we had a really, really great time. So I'm hoping, like, honestly, like to be like 100% transparent, we've had our shop for 4 years. January 1st was our 4th anniversary, and 2024 was the most difficult, like the slowest year. So I'm hoping that this year is a little bit better. If it does pick up, then I would really love to go to Vegas. Oh, and Beth is teaching at So Whatever Summit too. All right, and I'm just top stitching this in place. I just use my regular presser foot and use the little like cutout in the center to help guide me. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's so funny. I spent all of 2020 like researching business because I didn't know anything about sales tax or how to register or anything like that. So 2020 was kind of like my year of researching all that stuff and getting the certificates and registering, and then also testing out products. And then January 1st of 2021 is like, okay, new tax year, we'll open. Oh, you're welcome, Beth. Yeah, if any of you have, I know there's a lot of you that either have like shops or YouTube channels, definitely feel free to post them in the comments. I think it will let you. Hey, Holly. Happy New Year, everybody. You guys have like made my whole night. I'm so excited to chat with you all. All right, so I have just, these are like the zipper end tabs, and I prefer to top stitch on both sides just to give an extra row of stitching. That way it makes it even more difficult for the zipper to pop out. I'm just gonna cut them down the center. And actually I'm gonna grab, so I can mark my centers. And this is just a water soluble marking pen. It's my favorite to use besides chalk. It doesn't come out very well with polyester, but anything cotton I always use it. So I'm only marking the center like right on the edge, so that way I'm not it's not running and gonna show in my zipper. All right, the other thing that I guess I should do, probably do it first. I was gonna put the zipper on, but since I have the piping, I'm gonna need to do that. So let me mark my centers here. And then, since this one is black, I'm gonna use my silver marking pen on this one. Tonight is like a Lauren shop night. The silver pen's from her shop as well. All right, so I have never ever sewn piping, so hopefully I'm doing this right. Feel free to yell at me if I'm not. In the instructions, it says to, in the pattern, she has you bend it at like a 90-degree angle. So I'm just gonna kind of form like a little triangle, and hopefully that will be okay. And I'm just going to line up my center of the piping with the center of the bottom of this. And just clip all the way around. So I feel, I don't want to say super confident, but I feel pretty good about it because this is not like a vinyl piping or anything. It's really flexible and thin, so I don't think my machine is going to have any trouble with it going through the layers or anything like that. And it's extra funny because I have I've bought like pre-made piping and I've just been too like afraid to try it. So if this goes well, maybe I'll start adding it to some bags. Oh, thanks, Beth. I know I've watched a few of your videos with the piping, so, and I love how you've done even like faux piping by just folding the vinyl without the cord inside. So you've inspired me to be a little bit brave tonight. I'm just going to mark a little bit down so that way it's not going all the way up into where my zipper tabs are. This way I can fold the piping back at the correct spot, because I think I need to fold it back more than what I originally did. I'm just figuring out how to turn it at that 90-degree angle right there. And to keep it clipped into place, that I'll be able to do it. All right, there we go. As long as you don't worry about perfection. Yeah, I'm actually not worried about perfection tonight. This is my first time making the For the Love of Change pouch as well. So tonight I feel like it was new year, first sew of the 2025 year, and I figure try a couple new things, new pattern, piping, and hopefully it all goes well. And I'm just going to use a stiletto to kind of hold the piping in place as I'm setting my presser foot up. That's the one part that's kind of not that I'm worried, but it has that little bit of a bump, so I know I need to go over it. But my machine, as long as I can put it underneath my presser foot, it will sew through it. All right, perfect. So I'm just basting it into place. So far it seems to be going well. Hopefully I don't jinx it, but I wonder if Lauren still carries this on her website, because this is actually sewing like really, really well. I'm gonna have to check it out, because My worry with piping sometimes is that it would make the seams so thick, but this is sewing really beautifully on my machine. And I just lifted my presser foot but kept the needle in just because I'm at the end and it's like pushing the part, like the rounded part forward. So I'm hoping that, yeah, that worked great. By lifting it up and putting my presser foot on it, it helped hold it at that 90-degree angle. Oh, Krista, that's amazing. Do you sew on a domestic? I would totally use a piping foot. If if it makes it easier, that sounds incredible. No, Holly, I don't even know. It almost feels like a little bit softer than a pre-made like bias tape or, you know, double fold bias tape. Yeah, I wish I could have taken a class for this with Lauren. I know, is she teaching? I know she's teaching one in Washington. I'm not sure if it's this one or not. But this kit actually came from one of her leftover classes. So I definitely have to check her website because if you sew on a domestic, this piping really did sew very, very nicely, very easily. Oh, all right, Krista. I'm definitely going to have to check it out then because, I mean, that went pretty well, but a piping foot sounds even better. Aw, thanks, Brittany. Tell Matt hello. Thank you so much for popping on. All right, and so now I'm just marking the center on this real quick. I might as well mark all four because I'm going to put the zipper on next, and I'm going to need to align the centers. And for the water resistant canvas, I always have trouble telling like which side is correct. Sometimes you can like scratch them with your nail and then it will leave like a white mark on one side. I think this is the correct side, but pretty much it is they look the same, so I'm not worried about it, and it's the lining. Mary Lou, I'm not teaching anywhere as of yet in New England. One of my 2025 goals is to really like take advantage of living in New York City and then being from Connecticut. I really want to try to make some connections with like whether it's local quilt stores or something like that where I could go in and teach some classes because I know that there's like a whole subset of sewists up in the New England area that want to make bags. There's a shop in Connecticut in Colchester. It's a quilt store, but I heard that they do some bag making classes. So the next time I go home to visit my parents, I definitely want to go check out that store and, you know, make some connections. Or Mary Lou, if you know any stores that are looking or shops that are looking for classes and teachers, let me know. Because Massachusetts and stuff, Rhode Island, none of them are too far. That's the nice thing about New England. Like, it's all within driving distance. I haven't. I want to go visit her shop because they have such a beautiful setup. And I think she's closer to, like, the New Hampshire border, but probably, like, 2 hours from my parents, so not too far. Oh, yeah. I love Amazon for all my presser feet. I haven't tried Temu for them, but I mean, it's the same stuff. I'll definitely look for that one. Alright, so I'm just gonna baste my zipper on, and one of the things that I do is that when I clip it, I move my zipper pull out of the way, because I don't know if you can tell, but if you don't move it out of the way, there's like a slight bubble in your zipper tape, and that can cause a crooked zipper. So I know most people move it when they are stitching, but I also move it as I'm clipping. Alright, yeah, maybe we all need like a road trip to my handmade space for a class, right? Oh, Mary Lou, you've been there in person. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I appreciate that so much, Mary Lou. I had so much fun with all of you guys in person at Mojo Sews. I can't wait to do it again. So I just basted the zipper in place, and so I'm going to put the lining, and I'm putting them the linings right sides together to make that zipper sandwich. And again, I'm moving that zipper pull out of the way. Are any of you going to either Sew Whatever Summit in April or Sewcation in, I believe it's July, in Vegas? Oh, Christmas Town, putting it away, what an undertaking. Yeah. We still have our tree up. Yesterday was Three Kings Day, so I told Jason, I was like, we can leave it up. Growing up too, we always left our tree up for a couple weeks after Christmas, so ours is still up here. Put this one out to a zipper foot. Yeah, I feel like New Year's was so close to Christmas this year, so it went. I feel like it went so fast. I had the week off from school and everything, and I just feel like it flew by. And I'm just moving that zipper pull again. Yeah, I love turning on like the Christmas lights too. It adds like a nice ambiance. Oh, Mary Lou, yay, about Vegas. I know, I think a few of you that have that went to Mojo Sews weekend are going to Vegas. It's like, it would be like a little mini reunion. Nicole, how's the new puppy doing? Alright, so I just stitched that on, so I'm going to put these wrong sides together, and anytime that I am using either waterproof canvas or water resistant canvas, I always make sure that I like tug extra hard on this back side, because I cannot tell you how many times that I have had the waterproof or water resistant canvas kind of like bubbled up, and then it gets stuck in my zipper. So I like to give it a really good like press. And sometimes even I'll like open my zipper and clip inside to help hold it apart. Oh, I hit the mischievous stage. Oh, Liz, you were on top of that. So I'm going to top stitch it across, but because I am doing the pouch, I'm starting at the end of that zipper tab and ending all the way across at the end of this zipper tab. I'm not going to all the way to the edges. That's where you get like the funny ending. So stopping at the zipper tabs will make it like nice and crisp. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. We always had like cats growing up, and thankfully none of our cats ever bothered the Christmas tree. But you know, you see so many videos of them like getting into trouble with it. Oh, that's funny, Liz. Liz, I was thinking of you with your outdoor cats, because at my parents, there's some like feral cats that like the neighbors and stuff have been feeding. And my mom, like a month ago, went into the garage and one of them popped up out of my dad's kayak. So my dad has now made like a cat house with a box and put like blankets and stuff. And so one of the cats is his new home is my parents' garage. All right, so I got that side done, and now I'm gonna repeat the process for the other side. So I'm curious, I really like to baste my zippers in place. I just find that it helps me personally keep them straight and not end up with like a wavy zipper. So do you guys baste them into place, or do you just clip your exterior, interior, and do the full seam allowance? Oh my gosh, a cat fort. That is awesome. Madeline, you're going to Vegas too? Yay! You guys I really need to make it work. What's nice about Vegas is that it falls during the summer, so I wouldn't have to worry about school and taking time off. Oh, that's a smart thing to do, the double-sided tape. That would definitely save time. I think it's Soulful Therapy that I saw. I'm pretty sure it's Soulful Therapy that has started selling some of their zipper tape with double-sided tape already on the ends. And I was like, oh, that's super convenient. Okay, and so now I'm just repeating the same process, putting on that lining and making sure everything's all centered. So do any of you have any sewing goals for this year? one of mine is definitely to continue these Tuesday night lives. I am up to, I believe it's 1,600 followers right now. So my goal for the end of the year is have 4,000 on YouTube. So we'll see. Hopefully it keeps growing. And I just switched back to a zipper foot to sew this side on. You're forcing yourself to learn your serger. Beth, I started making my nieces, like dabbling with it the last year or two. But yeah, it's really intimidating. Mine sat in the box probably like 4 months before I took it out and learned to thread it. I have just a brother, I think it's the 1034D from Walmart. And honestly, it works really good. So I definitely want to make clothes for myself. I actually made a shirt over the break, but I haven't like hemmed it yet. It's like my nemesis, hemming things. I'm terrible at it. So one of every pattern you have. Nicole, should I ask how many patterns that you own? Yeah, Liz, I really like mine. I think besides an industrial, I would love a cover stitch because I think that's one of my hang-ups with sewing clothes is like then trying to hem them on a regular machine, and it's just I have like the double needle, I've done the zigzag, and I'm just not like super happy with any of them. I think maybe a rolled hem, maybe that's something I should look into. Hi, Lucy. Oh, I'm so glad that you can make it. You know, yeah, 6-pack so you can keep up with your other projects. Yeah, I've really enjoyed doing like a little bit of everything. So that's why I have some of the clothes. I have some quilting projects going on. I have this, I forgot what it's called. It's like a ghost quilt that's like patchwork. And I want to do it with some Tula Pink, but I need a couple more fat quarters before I can start it. And I also bought, like, there's a trend right now. I'm in the Young and Millennial Quilters group, and this woman, she put it on TikTok, and then it's been there, where she has taken just like a regular sweatshirt and then cut off the sleeves and then did quilted sleeves. And so I bought one and was like gonna make it for Christmas, and then I never did. So I need to either get different fabrics to do that or just make a really like Christmas sweatshirt. Lucy, so I have had this, it's for the Love of Change pouch from Mormino, and I had the kit literally for like 2 years. So I decided tonight would be a great night to sew it up. And this is actually the first one I ever made, and it's my first time ever doing piping. So far, it's coming out pretty good. It's actually almost done. I'm just gonna top stitch this other side here, and then it will be just putting it all together. And again, I'm doing that top stitch just from zipper tab to zipper tab. It took me so long to learn that, to get those nice corners that you can pop out. right, so far that, it looks pretty good. I'm really happy with it. So now I'm going to put I'm going to open this up first before I forget. And then put the exteriors right side together and the exteriors right side together. And I'm just, the way that the zipper tabs are, I can just keep that seam allowance and go all the way around. I think I'm going to have to top stitch with this with a zipper foot though. Only because I think if I keep a regular foot on, I'm not going to be able to get because of that piping. Aw, thanks, Beth. And I'm just lining up my ends first is what I'm doing right now. My only worry, not worry, but whenever I sew on waterproof canvas, if it's like like this has the PVC on the back, but if it's like the thicker one from, what's its name? Is it Ottertex? I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Or like the one from Walmart, the Pro Tough. I have to use a Teflon foot because my presser foot likes to stick on it. But I don't have a Teflon foot that is a zipper foot as well. So I'm going to try it with my regular zipper foot and hope that the stitches don't stick. And I'm just clipping all the way around the exterior. And I'm going to do the same for the interior, just leave a turning hole in the bottom. Sometimes, depending on the bag, I'll stitch the lining first and then the exterior sides, but I think it's going to work that I can just go right across the edge there because those zipper tabs are so far in that I'm not worried about accidentally sewing over them or anything. So let's switch out to a zipper foot. Okay, so I'm going to start on my lining side, back stitching at the bottom, and work my way all the way around. And I'm going to do a slightly larger seam allowance on the lining than I am the exterior. Just so the lining fits a little bit tighter. Yeah, I need to get a walking foot for this machine. I have a walking foot for like the Brother that I used, and it's not compatible with this one. I've tried it so many times thinking like I just put it on wrong and it just like doesn't actually walk. But that's something I definitely want to get because it also would help with my quilting. I do a lot of quilting and I don't have the walking foot for this. Yeah, I used to get so frustrated with the waterproof canvas until I started using the Teflon foot. And what's funny is that I found that different machines work better with different feet. So when I was using the basic Brother, people were like, oh, get a Teflon foot. And I bought a Teflon foot for the Brother machine and it wouldn't slide over vinyl. It was terrible. And I was like, I don't know why people recommend a Teflon foot because this is awful. But then a Teflon foot works amazing on the Singer. And whereas the walking foot worked great on the Brother, it's not working on this one. So I'm gonna try, I think I'm gonna try one more and hope it's compatible. Like, hope maybe like that was the problem with my other one. But yeah, that's definitely something I really feel strongly about, is like trying out different things and seeing what works best for your machine. All right, so this PVC is not quite as sticky as like the waterproof canvas that I use from Walmart. So far it's working okay. I'm just being like taking my time going slow because I know I have that piping there, so I want to make sure I'm not sewing into it, but then I'm not leaving too much of a gap either. Oh, Nicole, that's awesome that you were able to find that. It's too bad though that she didn't really give it a chance. But I can understand being frustrated with something. Because there's no way to be like all of a sudden you get, you're so excited for something and then your first project you try is so difficult. I can imagine that that's not so good. I mean, I almost like gave up on bag making. My first bags were so bad and I like couldn't figure it out. And then I find at that time I was trying to like learn bags from like written patterns, and I never really like watched YouTube, but then I went to YouTube and then seeing people actually sew was like a life like game changer for me. Oh yeah, I agree. Like I'll ask a whole bunch of questions in different groups. I'm also, I guess, not afraid to ask questions, but I think that comes part of like the teacher in me, where I'm just like, all right, well, I'll ask, and I don't get upset if anybody asks me questions. That's how we all learn. But I know that some people can be very intimidated or very shy. And I'm just trimming down my lining a little bit before I turn this, but I'm not trimming it where the turning hole is. Yeah, I always encourage questions. So if you're like watching and not chatting, or you feel intimidating, like please don't ever feel intimidated to ask me questions. Just putting it out there. All right, this will be the moment of truth. I hope. Yeah. All right, I can fit my hand in. Sometimes I like don't leave enough like space, but usually I can. If I can put my hand in, we're good. I don't think I'm gonna trim down this seam allowance. I think it's small enough, so we'll see. And what's nice is, one thing that I do like about the like customs shops waterproof canvas is it does seem to be a little bit more pliable than like the solid colors. So I think I have part of it turned out. I don't know if you can see. I did a smaller seam allowance. I think I'm going to turn it back right side out or wrong sides out and do a little bit deeper of a seam allowance for that piping because there's a little bit of a gap. It could probably be like fine if I wanted to, but I want to see if I can get it a little bit closer. And this side on the lining is fine. So I'm literally just going to start on this side here and only do the exterior, just a deeper seam allowance. I think at first I was afraid that I was going to actually sew through the piping, but I think it's just right next to it, or at least I hope so. So I think that is definitely closer. So hopefully when I turn it, it looks closer. And I'm just pressing into the seam basically to help make sure that this gets poked all the way out. And I'm able to fit my hand inside, so it's working just fine using my fingers right now to do that. If I accidentally leave like the turning hole not big enough, or it's in a an area that I can't reach as well, then I'll usually take like a chopstick and kind of like run it across to help poke the seam out. Night, Dad. Love you too. I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, and then I'm just like right here. This is where I was talking about making sure that your top stitching has ended so you could poke out these corners really well. So I'm just going to take a second and really make sure that I am poking them out from inside. And I was saying in my last video too, like I like to be able to reach into my lining to make sure I poke everything out. So if I'm doing something that has like a final top stitch, I never close my lining up until I do that final top stitch. All right, so that looks so much better. I'm not really sure how well you could see on camera before, where it was a little bit away from the piping, but now it's right up against it. So I'm super happy with that. So I'm just going to close up the lining. And normally, like, I just kind of put my 2 pointer fingers in and kind of tug, and the insides fold in. Like, you could probably draw your seam allowance or really measure it out, but I find for the most part that doing it this way, it matches up okay. And of course you could hand sew this or change out thread to match, but again, it's in the bottom of my bag. If it's a thing that you're not usually going to see, I usually don't bother. But I am going to switch out to my regular presser foot just because I like to sew as close to the edge as possible. And that zipper foot, I don't think it will catch enough fabric. I might have jammed it. Yeah. So sometimes I'm like impatient, or a lot of times I'm impatient and I don't hold my threads. So that's exactly what just happened, and it jammed. I'm just gonna rethread it real quick and check my bobbin. And then sometimes I've noticed that, like, if I don't wind the bobbin tight enough too, especially with the bonded thread, because that one is a little bit stiffer, so it wants to kind of like unravel. Try this again, but start on this other side. And actually hold my threads. Alright, that worked perfect. Alright, perfect. So you can see that, you can see the stitch a little bit, but it's so close to the edge, and it's also the variegated thread, so it really does blend in pretty nice. Alright, so let's tuck it in. Again, I'm just taking the time to make sure I really push it down into all of the bottom. So I'm not, it's kind of dark, so I'm not sure if you can see inside, but it fits in really nice. All right, so that finishes it up. Oh, I'm super happy with this, how it came out. I know there's 2 sizes. There's the large and the small. I'm honestly not sure which size this is, but I really like it because it's a great size that you could store stuff in this and even put it within a larger purse or even a backpack. So definitely a cute pouch. I can't believe that I haven't sewn one before. So really happy that I finally took out this the project pack and did it. Thank you. So I hope all of you enjoyed watching. Thank you so much for chatting with me tonight. I've really been looking forward to it all day. Like I said, I plan on still continuing every Tuesday. So thank you all of you that have been joining in from last year, or anybody new. whether you're watching quietly or even chatting along. I genuinely appreciate it so much. So I hope you guys have a happy new year, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Good night. Bye.